Having understood and diagnosed the customer's needs, the next step is to present the solution to them. And this is so important that you do so in a way that harkens back to the discovery that you've done. There are so many customers that sit through salesperson's presentations that talk about the salesperson's company, the salesperson's products, and so forth, without really making a big connection to the needs that have been uncovered. Some salespeople don't uncover needs at all, and some salespeople who do uncover needs because they've been trained that they should ask good questions don't bring up those needs specifically when it comes to making their pitch to the customer. They just default back to whatever normal presentation they give, which kind of makes all that effort in the diagnosis stage a wasted effort if it's not used at the end of the sale when you're pitching your value and your solution. So always make a point of connecting the problems that you've uncovered to the solutions or the features or the capabilities of your company and products and why they're relevant. Because this makes a very logical connection for the customer to say, so they've listened to our needs and now they're telling us a specific thing that they can deliver that satisfies that need. Tick. You should structure all of your presentations that way. In fact, when we have a look at the world of chemistry, that is where the word solution comes from. So when the chemists are talking about a solution, their definition of it is that a solution is something that comes about as a connection of two other substances. There's something called a solute and something called a solvent. Now, let me paint a picture that might make this clear. If we were to say that the solute is a packet of jelly crystals, the solvent would be the water that I pour into a bowl to mix the jelly crystals with. As a function of mixing those two together, the solution that I end up with starts to harden and set and becomes jelly. And jelly is delicious to eat. So the solution that I will offer my customer, which hopefully they'll also find delicious to eat, has to come about as a result of me pouring water in to dilute what is the solute. So solute is a technical term. Let's use a sales term to describe it. The problem. The customer's problems, the customer's needs. The issues that they want answers to or alternatives to. This is what you're going to break down for them. This is what you're going to mix with the water that you pour in. That's your products, services, and capabilities. And when you pour that in, it dilutes their problems and forms it into a new shape that can take form, which is the jelly. That's the solution. So from a chemical point of view, there is no solution. There cannot possibly be a solution if all you're doing is talking about the water that you're pouring in, unless it's discussed in context to the solute that needs to be dissolved or the problems that you're going to make go away for the customer. It's a meaningless conversation. You don't actually have a solution unless the customer's world is part of the discussion and your products and services are joined together. That's where a solution comes from. So never fall into the trap of talking about your products and services as if it's a solution on its own, unless what you've diagnosed as the needs are included in that discussion and connected very logically to each aspect of what you can provide to them. The customer won't see it as a solution. They'll see it as a product pitch that you could have given just as easily to the next company down the road. They won't see that it's tailored or relevant to them. And that's the art of selling. It's showing the customer and persuading them that the time they've invested with you really has been put to good use because you've listened to them. You've processed what they've told you. You've thought about, what can I do to bring something of real value to them? And now you're coming back with that presentation. That is the art of pitching a persuasive presentation that matters to the customer.